Dear students, in the previous lecture, we have discussed about various types of causes of air pollution. We had discussed that what is air pollution and what are the major causes of air pollution. We had discussed about some of the primary air pollutants and some of the secondary air pollutants. The primary air pollutants were responsible for causing the pollution because they were emitted directly from a source, whereas the secondary pollutants were the one which were formed by mixing of different primary pollutants. We had also discussed about the ways in which the air pollution can be controlled. The air pollution that is being caused by the companies or the industries or the textile industries, in that case, there was use of different types of arresters like cyclonic accelerators were used, trajectory projectors were used, as well as there was use of different types of electrostatic precipitators which were responsible for reducing the number of suspended particles present in the air. Along with that, we had also discussed about the scrubbers which were used to eliminate the gaseous pollutants that are present or the harmful gases that are present in the air. So different types of control measures were already been discussed. Now we are talking about a case study of Delhi, that is how the air pollution is being controlled in Delhi or was controlled in Delhi before several years. What were the steps that were taken by the government and what was the need of taking those steps by the government, that is being discussed in this case study. In the previous year, older textbooks, there was a case study of Gujarat, whereas now as we are following the NCERT textbook, we have a case study of Delhi. Now we already know that one of the most populated states that we have is Delhi, and along with more population, the pollution level is also very high. The major cause of this pollution is the automobiles, that is the vehicular exhaust are responsible mainly for causing the pollution in Delhi. So what can be the steps or what were the steps taken by the government to reduce this pollution? So here we can see that Delhi is one of the most leading state with the highest number of vehicles running on the road. The number of vehicles running in Delhi are even more than the total number of vehicles running in Gujarat and West Bengal. So collectively, the total number of vehicles running in Gujarat and West Bengal are even less than the total number of vehicles running in Delhi. So that can be understood that as the number of vehicles are more, pollution is definitely more in this state. Delhi is ranked 4th among the 41 most polluted cities of the world. So, out of all the 41 polluted cities, we can consider that Delhi is the 4th most polluted city in the whole world. So, pollution level at Delhi is so much high that it is very serious that people are suffering from different types of respiratory problems, irritation, eye irritation, throat problems, lung problems. So there are different types of conditions that people are suffering due to high level of pollutants present in the air. So a public interest litigation, that is PIL, public interest litigation, was being filed in the Supreme Court of India, and this was filed just to make a notice that the amount of pollution in the Delhi is very high and that is going to be a very serious problem in the near years, and therefore appropriate measures were to be taken for the public transport. So first thing, that is the private vehicles cannot be reduced suddenly, and therefore first step is to be taken on the public transport, and that was on the buses. The buses which were running on diesel before 2002, they all were changed to run on CNG by the year 2002. So in this year, a major change was being taken by the government that the buses which were running on diesel were being changed to running on CNG, that is compressed natural gas. So this big transformation was being done only after filing a PIL in the Supreme Court. So why this change was done? Obviously the pollution level was very high, and secondly, instead of first implementing the rules on the private vehicles, though there were rules that were implemented on them also, but first the step was taken on the government buses. So this type of change was being done. So all the buses in Delhi were converted to run on CNG by the year 2002. CNG. Why CNG? So CNG is the one which is going to burn more efficiently than the petrol or diesel. So burning of CNG is more, that is efficient, and therefore the pollutants which will be released are going to be less. Secondly, it is cheaper than petrol and diesel, so economy can also be maintained as the petrol and diesel prices are very high. It cannot be siphoned, that is the thief or चोरी या ऐसा कुछ नहीं हो सकता CNG गैस के लिए, और उसके साथ साथ it cannot be adulterated, मतलब उसमें कोई भी तरह का modification possible नहीं है. The only drawback of the CNG was how to supply the CNG or how to provide it to the distributors, all the places. So the major problem was laying down pipelines for the supply of CNG. So that was also being later on, it was all done, and the pipelines were laid for the CNG pumps, and therefore the CNG became more prevalent in the buses at least. Thereafter, other steps were also taken, and these steps they were taken by for the private, that is for the public interest, and these were phasing off of the older vehicles, that is very old vehicles were not allowed to run on the roads, because more older the vehicle is, more older the engine is, the amount of pollutants being released in the environment are more. So old vehicles, that is after a certain year or duration, these vehicles were to be removed off. Use of unleaded petrol, so unleaded petrol without lead, and that is being already done. Use of low sulfur petrol, diesel, so sulfur release from the petrol, that is burning of petrol and diesel, that was reduced, as well as the amount of sulfur in the petrol and diesel that was present was also reduced. Use of catalytic converters, as we discussed that there are platinum, palladium or rhodium catalysts that were installed in the engines, and when vehicular exhaust passes through them, what will happen? They will be converted into carbon dioxide and water. So such type of catalytic converters were being installed in the vehicles. Application of pollution level norms for vehicle. Now this is one of the most important thing, that application of pollution level norms. Pollution level norms are specific norms that are being given by the government, that the engines, that shows the working efficiency of the engine. The better quality engines were being made, and better quality engines made means the amount of pollutant they release should be very less. So what type of norms were being created? It was Euro 3 norms. Euro 3 norms, that is for European countries, and similarly in India we have Bharat stage 4 and Bharat stage 3 engines. You might have observed on some of the cars that behind the car there is written Bharat stage 4. So what is that? Euro 3 norms stipulate that the sulfur should be controlled. That is, initially the amount of sulfur present was 350 ppm in diesel and 150 parts per million in petrol. So amount of sulfur present in petrol and diesel was about 350 and 150 parts per million. But under the Euro 3 norms, it was being insisted by the government to the companies to make such engines that they are going to reduce the emission of the sulfur, and therefore the sulfur present should reduce to hardly 50 ppm. So this was a major change that was being done in the engines, or modification was done so that the amount of sulfur can be reduced. Because if sulfur is more, obviously sulfur dioxide and harmful gases are going to be emitted in the vehicular exhaust. So one of the control measure was changing the engines, changing the motor vehicles to Euro 3 norms. As I said, in India it is said as Bharat Stage 4, Bharat Stage 3. Since the year 2010, that is from, in some of the states it was from April and in some of the states it was from October 2010, that all the vehicles, as that is four-wheelers, three-wheelers as well as two-wheelers, mainly four-wheelers were Bharat Stage 4 norms, whereas three-wheelers and two-wheelers were at Bharat Stage 2 norms. So different types of norms were being created to reduce the sulfur content in the petrol and diesel. Even another problem is of aromatic hydrocarbons. So the amount of aromatic hydrocarbons initially was 42%, which was being reduced to 35%. So that is also very much important, again, to reduce the pollution. Vehicles engines are to be upgraded. So that is the most important thing that has been done. In your textbook you can look upon a small table in which year, in which cities the Bharat Stage 3 and 4 norms were being implemented. That is for information and you can go through that topic. After discussing about the various causes and control of air pollution, we are now moving on to the next type of pollution, that is the water pollution. Here we are going to discuss about the water pollution, the control measures for reducing the water pollution. First of all, we are going to discuss about what is water pollution. So water pollution is an undesirable change which is happening in the water that is going to affect the health of the humans as well as health of several aquatic organisms. Why this water pollution can occur? The water pollution occurs due to the presence of different types of organic and inorganic substances. Some are biodegradable, some are non-degradable, some of the chemicals. These all things, when enter into the water body, they make a water body polluted. We know that very well that several rivers are being highly polluted. Along with rivers, even the ponds which are present in your surrounding, they are also being polluted. So most of this pollution, that is the water pollution, is due to the human activities. However, the water pollution also occurs due to some of the natural activities or from the natural sources. However, major source of water pollution is the different types of human activities. So first we look at the definition of water pollution. The degradation of the quality of water. So water quality is going to degrade. So water quality degradation which is going to occur due to addition of substances, because some of the substances are getting added up in the water. So due to these substances entering into the water, the quality of the water is going to degrade. So degradation in the quality of water due to addition of the substances. Which substances? So they can be either organic, they can be inorganic, they can even be biological. That is, increase in the number of algae or increase in the number of other aquatic harmful organisms. So that can also be the cause of, that can also be a reason for water pollution. So that is going to make it health hazard, unfit for human use. So such a water will not be used by the humans, and even if it is used, there will be, resultant will be several waterborne diseases like cholera and jaundice, which occur due to unfit water usage. So degradation in the quality of water due to addition of substances like organic, inorganic or biological or radioactive, any of these substances when enter into the water, this water becomes unfit for the use of humans, and such a water imposes health hazard to humans, and such a condition is known to be water pollution. The water pollution, that is due to water pollutants. So pollutants are the substances which cause the pollution. So here the pollutants can be biological, the pollutants can be chemical, and the pollutants can also be physical. So three types of possibilities are there. Biological pollutants. So presence of some type of pathogen like virus, bacteria, protozoa or helminth Okay, if the amount of protozoans in the water increases, or the amount of helminths or viruses in the water increases, then also it can be considered as a water pollutant. So some of the causes are biological factors. Some of them are chemical. Chemical means we mostly dump off the organic waste, the domestic waste. These all things are being dumped into the water. So organic waste. Then is the biocides. Biocides are substances like DDT, some of the pesticides, some of the insecticides which are being sprayed on the land. But due to soil erosion, they enter into the nearby water body, and therefore in the water body the amount of this harmful chemicals like DDT is going to increase. It also includes phosphates and nitrates. So chemicals like phosphates and nitrates, they are mostly going to enter because of the use of soaps and detergents for washing clothes at the nearby the water body, or it can even be due to the activities like bathing of the animals. So at that time also several soaps and detergents are being used which pollute the water. So the reasons can be chemical also, and the third are the reasons which are physical. Physical means the hot water. These are the extreme hot waters which are being released from the industries or the factories. From there the hot waters are also released, and then after the coolants are also released. So such mixture of these substances, that is hot water with the chemicals, is going to be very much hazardous to us, as well as accidental oil spills are also a physical reason. That is, sometimes the petroleum tanks get leaked out and the oils get spilled into the water body. So, or even there is oil draining or mining that is being done. In that cases also oil spills are found. So these are some of the reasons, that is biological reasons for water pollutants, that is pollution, chemical reasons, and there can be physical reasons. So here we are talking about the sources of water pollution. What are the sources of water pollution? So as I said that the sources of water pollution can be both. It can be natural also, as well as it can be anthropogenic, that is man-made. Natural source of water pollution. Natural sources will be leaching of minerals. So when the minerals get leached down into the water body, this amount of increase in the minerals like phosphates and nitrates, they are going to change the composition of the water and make the water unfit for the aquatic organisms. It also includes the clay and silt from the soil erosion. So due to clay and silt which is entering into the water body due to soil erosion, it can happen in longer run. A water body might get transformed into a complete landform, because slowly and slowly there is development of the layers of clay and silt and sand on it, due to which the level of the water is going to decrease, and in long run it can happen that the amount of water might reduce very much in the small water bodies. This is mostly for the small water bodies like ponds, which you might have seen in your nearby, that ponds are decreasing in the size, and lately after 5 or 10 years when you observe, you see a complete land area over there with no water at all. So such conditions also develop. Anthropogenic. Anthropogenic means the man-made sources of air pollution. So what are the man-made sources? अब man-made sources जो होते हैं उसमें आ जाता है domestic waste. Domestic waste मतलब हमारे घर से जो waste हम directly कई लोग तो dump कर देते हैं water body में, या तो फिर through the pipelines also whatever is the fecal matter and whatever is the waste from the kitchen, and that is directly discarded into the water body. तो ये आ जाता है domestic waste. फिर आ जाता है sewage जो भी घरों से होता है, soaps and detergents which are used for washing the clothes near the water body, they are also the major pollutants. Runoff from agricultural fields. Runoff from agricultural fields मतलब पेस्टिसाइड्स होते हैं, इंसेक्टिसाइड्स जो हम फील्ड में स्प्रे करते हैं, वो एक्चुअली रन होके वाटर बॉडी में ही अल्टीमेटली एंटर होते हैं. और ये ऐसे सब्सटेंसेस होते हैं जो डिग्रेडेबल ही नहीं होते, मतलब नॉन बायोडिग्रेडेबल होते हैं, और नॉन बायोडिग्रेडेबल होने की वजह से ये लॉन्ग टाइम तक एनवायरमेंट में सस्टेन करते हैं, एंड इवन दे गो विद इन द एक्वेटिक ऑर्गेनिज्म animals body and gets stored in their body also, so it is very harmful for them. इंडस्ट्रियल वेस्ट मतलब वेस्ट विच इज बीइंग रिलीज फ्रॉम इंडस्ट्रीज, एनिमल शेड्स मतलब एनिमल के जो फर होते हैं या ऐसा कुछ होता है तो दैट ऑल्सो गेट्स एंटर्ड इनटू द वाटर. ऑयल पोल्यूशन जो अभी मैंने कहा, ड्रेनेज मतलब ऑयल का जो स्पिल्स होता है पेट्रोलियम या माइनिंग की एक्टिविटीज की वजह से जो है वो ऑयल सीपेज हो जाता है इन द वाटर, दैट इज द ऑयल पोल्यूशन. सो देयर कैन बी मेनी एंथ्रोपोजेनिक सोर्सेस ऑफ एयर पोल्यूशन, राइट. तो एयर पोल्यूशन के दो सोर्सेस हो गए, एक हो गए नेचुरल सोर्सेस और दूसरे हो गए एंथ्रोपोजेनिक सोर्सेस. तो यहाँ पे थोड़े मेंशन किए हुए हैं इंडस्ट्रियल वेस्ट वाटर. तो इंडस्ट्रियल वेस्ट वाटर में आपको याद रखना है कि इंडस्ट्रियल वेस्ट वाटर में एक तो होता है हॉट वाटर जो इंडस्ट्रीज में यूज होने के बाद डायरेक्टली रिवर्स में डाल दिया जाता है, और उसके साथ साथ उनके जो कूलेंट्स होते हैं फिर वो भी डाल दिए जाते हैं. एंड दिस मिक्सचर ऑफ दिस वाटर विद द केमिकल्स इज वेरी मच डेंजर एंड कॉजेस वाटर पोल्यूशन. इसके अलावा म्यूनिसिपल वेस्ट वाटर, इसमें आ जाता है हमारा सीवेज. सीवेज को प्रॉपरली सीवेज ट्रीटमेंट प्लांट में नहीं डालते हुए डायरेक्टली वाटर बॉडी में डाल दिया जाता है, तो वो भी एक पॉल्यूटेंट है क्योंकि उसमें सबसे ज्यादा फॉस्फेट्स और नाइट्रेट्स होते हैं, और ये फॉस्फेट्स और नाइट्रेट्स दे आर रिस्पॉन्सिबल फॉर अ वेरी दैट इज वेरी हैजार्डस टू द एक्वेटिक ऑर्गेनिजम्स. तो ये एक आ जाता है सरफेस रन ऑफ, जो अभी मैंने कहा एग्रीकल्चरल वेस्ट जो होता है दैट गेट्स रन ऑफ इनटू द water body. Pesticides, insecticides, they also run off in the water body, right. And lastly oil spills. तो ये चार आपको याद रखने हैं the major causes of the water pollution, right. अगर causes of water pollution पूछा है तो 4 पॉइंट याद करके पहले लिख देने हैं, फिर उसके अंदर आप थोड़ा एडिशन कर सकते हो, पर 4 चीजें आपको पता होनी चाहिए. अब हम बात करते हैं दैट व्हाट इज डोमेस्टिक सुवेज. डोमेस्टिक सुवेज जो होता है उसमें 99.9% वाटर रहता है, पर 0.1% उसमें रहती है इम्प्योरिटीज. एंड इवन दिस 0.1% इम्प्योरिटीज होने पर भी that is going to be very much harmful for, that is unfit for human use. That is even with this 0.1% impurities वो जो water है वो हमारे यूज के लिए नहीं चलता. तो इमेजिन कि 0.1% वेस्ट है तो भी नहीं चलता, तो हाउ मच हैजार्डस इट इज गोइंग टू बी फॉर द एक्वेटिक ऑर्गेनिजम्स. तो क्या होता है डोमेस्टिक सीवेज में? सबसे पहली चीज उसमें होते हैं सस्पेंडेड सॉलिड्स. सस्पेंडेड सॉलिड्स मतलब सैंड है, क्ले है, सिल्ट है, ये सारे सस्पेंडेड सॉलिड्स होते हैं डोमेस्टिक सीवेज में. दूसरा होता है उसमें कोलॉइडल मटेरियल. कोलॉइडल मटेरियल में आ जाता है फीकल मैटर, बैक्टीरिया, क्लोथ, पेपर फाइबर्स. तो ये सारी चीजें जो है वो कोलॉइडल सब्सटेंसेस में आ जाती है, फीकल मैटर, बैक्टीरिया, क्लोथ एंड पेपर फाइबर. इसके अलावा होते हैं सब डिसॉल्व्ड मटेरियल. डिसॉल्व्ड मटेरियल में आ जाते हैं न्यूट्रिएंट्स जैसे कि नाइट्रेट्स, अमोनिया एंड फॉस्फेट्स. तो ये 3 चीजें होती है इन द डोमेस्टिक सीवेज. एक होते हैं सस्पेंडेड सॉलिड्स, एक होते हैं कोलॉइडल मटेरियल एंड थर्ड इज डिसॉल्व्ड मटेरियल लाइक न्यूट्रिएंट्स. तो ये 3 चीजें सिर्फ होती हैं जिसकी वजह से वाटर अनफिट हो जाता है फॉर द ह्यूमन यूज. तो अब हम देखेंगे दैट व्हाट विल बी द कॉजिंग, मतलब अगर डोमेस्टिक सीवेज डायरेक्टली वाटर में डिस्कार्ड कर दिया जाता है तो व्हाट इज द इफेक्ट ऑन वाटर. And we are going to now discuss about the topic that is biodegradation. तो ये क्या होता है and how is domestic sewage related to it, that we will discuss in the next video. Dear students, we have discussed about the water pollution and the causes of water pollution. We discussed that the sources of water pollution can be both man-made as well as natural. The soil erosion, leaching of the minerals are some of the natural sources of water pollution, whereas the anthropogenic sources of water pollution were many. Some of them included the industrial waste, the oil spills, the domestic sewage which was being transferred or which was being removed in the river waters, and therefore it becomes very much harmful for the aquatic organisms to survive. Also, such water with impurities is unfit for human use. We had discussed that what is domestic sewage and what is the composition of the domestic sewage. we said that the domestic sewage consists of colloidal particles. It also contains some of the dissolved material. So there were different things present in the domestic sewage. And therefore, just 0.1% impurities present in the water makes the water unfit for human use. So now we are going to discuss about the problem that happens by the disposal of the domestic sewage in the water. When the domestic sewage is dumped into the water, what begins? There begins the degradation of the organic matter present in the domestic sewage, and that was determined using biochemical oxygen demand. So here our topic is of the same, that is biodegradation. The topic is biodegradation. Now we know that the domestic sewage is rich in biodegradable organic matter. So when we dump the domestic sewage into the water, this domestic sewage is containing a very large amount of the organic matter. And this organic matter is biodegradable. Therefore, there will be microorganisms present in water, and these microorganisms will be engulfing or digesting the whole organic matter, that is degrading the whole organic matter. It stimulates the activity of several decomposer organisms, collectively known as sewage fungus. So there will be presence of the waste, that is the organic waste that will be present in the water. This organic waste will be degraded or metabolized by the organisms, and collectively this set of microorganisms, which are the decomposers, and they are going to decompose the organic matter, are referred as the sewage fungus. Decomposition of the organic matter is going to be done by microorganisms, and while they decompose this all organic waste, what they utilize is they require the oxygen. So oxygen requirement is going to be very high if the amount of pollutants, that is if the amount of the organic matter in the water is very high. So more polluted is the water, more will be the requirement of the oxygen. So degree of impurity of water due to organic matter is measured in the terms of biochemical oxygen demand. So how can we determine that how much polluted the water is? More polluted water, more will be the value of BOD. Therefore, the amount of impurity in the water can be explained in the terms of biochemical oxygen demand. So what is this biochemical oxygen demand? The biochemical oxygen demand is the amount of oxygen that will be required for a duration of 5 days in 1 liter of water for the microorganisms to metabolize the organic waste. मतलब माइक्रोऑर्गेनिजम्स कितना ऑक्सीजन यूटिलाइज कर रहे हैं, और वो ऑक्सीजन क्यों यूटिलाइज कर रहे हैं? क्योंकि वो ऑर्गेनिक मैटर को डिकम्पोज करते हैं. तो द अमाउंट ऑफ ऑक्सीजन दे यूटिलाइज ड्यूरिंग द डिकम्पोजिशन ऑफ द ऑर्गेनिक मैटर फॉर 5 days in 1 liter of water is termed as biochemical oxygen demand. And therefore, students, it becomes clear that more is the impurity of water, more will be the value of biochemical oxygen demand. जैसे जैसे after 5, 7, 10 days the amount of impurities are going to decrease. Why impurities are going to decrease? Because the microorganisms are going to consume the organic waste. So when they consume the organic waste, what is going to happen? The impurities are going to decrease, and therefore the value of biochemical oxygen demand also decreases. So in the domestic sewage, which is just discarded in the river water, in that there will be highest amount of impurities, so there will be highest value of BOD. But later on the amount of BOD is going to decrease because the impurities are also going to decrease. So here it has been explained in the terms of a graph. In this graph, you can see that this is the direction of flow, that is BOD, and DO stands for dissolved oxygen. Sewage discharge. Sewage discharge means initially what is done in the river water, the sewage is being discharged. अब sewage discharge होने पर, सीवेज जब डिस्चार्ज किया है तो बीओडी की वैल्यू कैसी होगी, सबसे ज्यादा होगी. तो वैल्यू ऑफ बीओडी इज गोइंग टू बी वेरी हाई immediately when the waste is being discarded. क्यों very high? Because BOD is what? Amount of oxygen utilized by microorganism. और जब वेस्ट ज्यादा है तो ऑक्सीजन ज्यादा ही यूटिलाइज हुआ होगा, इसीलिए बीओडी की वैल्यू क्या है, सबसे ज्यादा है. फिर क्या हो रहा है, now when this waste is going to be taken up, that is metabolized by microorganism, तो microorganisms waste को metabolize कर रहे हैं. अब metabolize करेंगे इसीलिए क्या होगा, इसीलिए BOD की वैल्यू जो है that is going to decrease. मतलब high value of BOD indicates that the amount of pollutants were very high. And slowly the amount of BOD or the value of BOD is going to decrease. क्यों? Initially ऑक्सीजन की रिक्वायरमेंट ज्यादा थी, जैसे जैसे डिग्रेडेशन खत्म होने आया तो ऑक्सीजन की रिक्वायरमेंट कम हो गई, इसीलिए बीओडी की वैल्यू भी रिड्यूस हो गई. पर वही चीज आप डिसॉल्व्ड ऑक्सीजन के लिए क्या कहेंगे, तो डिसॉल्व्ड ऑक्सीजन जो है, जब हमने वेस्ट डाला अंदर तो सारा ही ऑक्सीजन यूटिलाइज कर लिया, किसने, माइक्रो ऑर्गेनिज्म से. अब माइक्रो ऑर्गेनिज्म जब ऑक्सीजन यूटिलाइज कर लेते हैं तो ऑक्सीजन यूटिलाइज करने पे वाटर के अंदर जो डिसॉल्व्ड ऑक्सीजन था वो क्या हो गया, कम. तो वाटर के अंदर डिसॉल्व्ड ऑक्सीजन क्यों कम हो गया, क्योंकि वो सारा ऑक्सीजन किसने यूज कर लिया, माइक्रो ऑर्गेनिजम्स ने. पर धीरे धीरे जैसे जैसे ऑक्सीजन की रिक्वायरमेंट कम होती गई वैसे वैसे डिसॉल्व्ड ऑक्सीजन का अमाउंट बढ़ता गया. तो बीओडी जो है इट इज गोइंग टू बी वेरी हाई इनिशियली एंड देन इट इज गोइंग टू डिक्रीज. जबकि डिसॉल्व्ड ऑक्सीजन क्या है, अमाउंट ऑफ ऑक्सीजन डिसॉल्व्ड इन वाटर फॉर एक्वाटिक ऑर्गेनिजम्स. तो डिसॉल्व्ड ऑक्सीजन पहले कैसा था, बहुत कम. क्यों, क्योंकि वेस्ट बहुत ज्यादा था. पर धीरे धीरे जैसे जैसे माइक्रो ऑर्गेनिजम्स ने डिग्रेड करने लगे ऑर्गेनिक मैटर को, अब वो डिसॉल्व्ड ऑक्सीजन ज्यादा यूटिलाइज नहीं हो रहा एंड देयरफॉर द अमाउंट ऑफ डिसॉल्व्ड ऑक्सीजन इज इंक्रीजिंग. So if this sewage is directly discarded into the water, तो क्या होगा, there will be killing of all the fishes and disappearance of the clean water organisms. तो clean water organisms जो है वो धीरे धीरे मर जाएंगे. क्यों, क्योंकि ऑक्सीजन बहुत ही कम हो चुका है और कम ऑक्सीजन की वजह से वो सर्वाइव नहीं कर पाए. But later on, with the direction of flow, with the time, what will happen? Impurities will decrease, amount of oxygen will increase, and therefore there will be reappearance of oxygen. तो ये आप देख सकते हो through the graph. Students, ये बहुत important है और इसे आप 2 से 3 बार देखिएगा so that you can understand it. ठीक है, तो यहाँ पे उसी का डिस्क्रिप्शन लिखा हुआ है. Discharge of domestic sewage in river. रिवर में जब हमने डोमेस्टिक सीवेज डाला तो डोमेस्टिक सीवेज डालने पर बीओडी की वैल्यू क्या हो जाएगी, बहुत ही हाई. मोर आर द इम्प्योरिटीज, मोर इज द अमाउंट ऑफ बीओडी. ठीक है, बिकॉज the decomposer organisms will use a lot of oxygen. So more are the impurities, more is the value of BOD and more is the amount of oxygen used. जितना ज्यादा O2 यूज होगा उतनी BOD की वैल्यू हाई होगी. If the sewage quantity is large, मतलब अगर बहुत ज्यादा अमाउंट में सीवेज डाला है तो लार्ज अमाउंट ऑफ O2 विल बी यूज्ड अप, बहुत सारा ऑक्सीजन यूज हो जाएगा. किसमें यूज हो जाएगा, माइक्रो ऑर्गेनिजम्स उसे यूज कर लेंगे. क्यों यूज कर रहे हैं, ऑब्वियसली डिकम्पोज करने के लिए. तो ये जो ऑक्सीजन ज्यादा यूज हो गया उसका मतलब क्या हुआ कि एक्वेटिक ऑर्गेनिजम्स के लिए जो डिसॉल्व्ड ऑक्सीजन था वो क्या हो जाएगा, बहुत ही कम. और डिसॉल्व्ड ऑक्सीजन कम मतलब उनके लिए रेस्पिरेशन के लिए ऑक्सीजन रहेगा नहीं. ऑक्सीजन नहीं रहेगा इसीलिए ये ऑर्गेनिजम्स क्या हो जाएंगे, दे विल गेट किल्ड. बट लेटर ऑन व्हेन द सीवेज इज डिकम्पोज, सीवेज डिकम्पोज हो चुका है तो अब तो ऑक्सीजन की रिक्वायरमेंट कम हो गई. ऑक्सीजन की रिक्वायरमेंट कम हो गई मतलब पानी में जितना डिसॉल्व्ड ऑक्सीजन है उतना रहेगा. And therefore there will be gradual rise in the O2 level in the water and therefore the organisms are going to reappear. So organisms will reappear when again the amount of dissolved oxygen will be more. और dissolved oxygen ज्यादा कब होगा? जब impurities कम होगी. तो ये पूरा एक प्रोसेस है जिसे हम कहते हैं बायोडिग्रेडेशन.